everyone, it's Liam the Deaf Team Metalhead. I hope you're all well. It's time for another What's Kicking My Ass, where I pick 5 albums that I think you guys should be listening to. So if you're new to my channel, basically you're in the right place for extreme metal, really. I talk about death metal, black metal, doom metal, all those kind of subgenres, but mainly focus on the really heavier stuff that you might not have heard of before. Kind of like the lesser known bands, if you were, because it's easy to pick big name bands and you shove them on your video and you're obviously going to get people to click on them. But for me, I kind of want to do this channel where I kind of put things up that people might not have heard before, that I really like, and then hopefully you can find some new music, because that's what I do on YouTube. I search for new music all the time. It keeps me busy mentally and keeps me happy. So without further ado, I will show you 5 albums, and the first one is a Finnish classic death doom band, Swallow the Sun. This is their second full-length, Ghosts of Loss. This is a reissue from 2018 from a lone record. I can't remember when the first album came, well, what year it actually originally came out on, but this is some of their best songs on this album. Artwork's a bit raunchy for some, but for me, proper death doom band. So they incorporate the lyrics inside with the artwork, really miserable looking track titles, but they incorporate kind of the really good death metal guttural stuff with really well sung songs. He can really sing, the singer, and it's really good where you've got a band that can kind of incorporate the two without having to add extra members in to give it a different style. He kind of cements himself in the front, puts his heart out on his sleeve. Some really good, really good vocals. And that what makes the band, even better, is you got some really good haunting melodies. The guitars are really heavy. The drums can be really technical when they need to be, and they really build really well. The keys aren't in your face. They kind of sit in the background to kind of give it that more symphonic edge when it needs to be there. But it's just a white blue splatter, nothing fancy, but definitely worth checking out. And the first album as well, really good band. I mean, to be fair, their whole back catalogue is varies a little bit, and they've kind of got a bit lighter over the years for me, but I still really like them and I really enjoy their music. So yeah, please check them out. That is Swallow the Sun. Losing my voice today, excuse me. Right, next one is completely different to that. This is a band that I discovered while watching them live when they came over to Norwich here in the UK back in 2013. And that is London-based Blackend death metal avant-garde metalers Voices. Now, this band have got a lot going on. Like, this isn't an easy listen. This is quite a challenge for me, because it's so many different styles, and it's something I would normally kind of just grab off the shelf and put on. You have to kind of put yourself in the mindset to listen to it. But once you get it, it's amazing. Really well done. Like, I really like albums that you kind of have to really be patient with. And if you like it, it makes it just a little bit more special. This is their debut. I haven't got any more by them, but this came out through Candlelight, like I say, in 2013, and they were touring this album. Features the 3 former and current members of the band Akakok, I think I'm pronouncing that right, which is like a 90s obscure British death metal band that kind of used to play in Suits. I think they still do. And they used to sing about Satan and sexual themes and like that, and really push people's buttons. Obviously nowadays it's tame as anything, but imagine back then, it pissed a lot of people off. And my mate Dan is a massive fan of Akakok. I think he was with me when we saw these guys. So yeah, definitely worth checking out if you like your black metal, your death metal, and you kind of like that kind of big, broad open-mindedness when you listen to an album. If you like bands that kind of explore genres, not just pigeonhole themselves, definitely worth checking these guys out. So that's Voices. And then we'll go for something back in the more death doom vein, and that is Sweden's Draconian. Sorry about the glare. This is their third full length, The Burning Halo, which came out through Napalm Records back in 2006. Now, they again are like Swallow the Sun. They have the really growly, brutal death metal vocal style, but then they throw in really nice clean singing. But they use a female fronted vocal style, so she can do like operatic stuff, and really brings out the songs. So you kind of get like a very contrasting style. So you got like really melodic but then it becomes really, really heavy. You know, and I think it's this chap here. I might be wrong though, but one of the guitarists has a solo project called Doom VS, which is like a funeral doom band, and they've got 3 albums that are just pure gold. If you're into that really miserable, heavy doom metal, definitely check them out because his music is superb. He gets guest vocalists. I think one of them had the Saturnus singer on them. You know, brilliant band. But definitely check out Draconian. They've got a new album coming out this year, which I'm quite excited about. Again, it will have all the certain gothic-y elements to it that they have, but they'll have a really good death metal bite to it. So yeah, Draconian. And then going on to a band that I really enjoy. A lot of people don't enjoy them. It depends on, you know, what you class as like the best death metal bands from America. And for me, Broken Hope is up there. This is their, I think it's just 2013 release. Yeah, Omens of Disease. Came out through Century Media. This is their kind of comeback album. They were on hiatus for a long time after their original vocalist Joe passed away, because he was, you know, if you go back and look at their earlier catalogue, his vocal style is very, you know, bottom of the mix, really low end. It's so low, it's ridiculous, and it's really hard to understand obviously what he's saying. But if you read, you know, you can kind of hear it in passages, and it, you know, it's just fucking awesome. But then I think it's Jeremy Wagner is the original member of this band now, and the guitar player. He got the band back together and put this release out. It's got Sean Glass there, who's also known for being in the band Soil with that song Halo. If you go and see that video, he's in that as well, which is a weird coincidence. But you know, this is some really good death metal, really guttural, really shreddy, really like bang your head kind of riffs, really lots of groove in there. You know, just really solid stuff. I really like their early work more, but you know, this is a very strong album, so go check them out. And lastly on my list, one that everyone's heard of, but you know, this might be an album you might not checked out, and that is Paradise Lost's Shades of God. This is their third full length from 1992 through Music for Nations. Yeah, if you don't know who Paradise Lost are, obviously they're a British giant death doom band. You know, they're part of the early 90s scene with My Dying Bride and Nathmar, and they've kind of wavered over the years in their style, but their later work that they're putting out now is, you know, firmly in this kind of style. I must get their new release because it's very good. But this for me is my favourite from them. Obviously you got Draconian Times. I really like the first album, Gothic. I'm a bit on the fence with, just because the guitar tone isn't that great on it. But then you look at the year they recorded, you can't really be too fussy. But this is so solid for me. It's got the Nick Holmes kind of growly vocal style, so it's not guttural or really death metal-y style like he does now, and also in Bloodbath, but more of the, you can hear every word, but it's in a really harsh, attacking kind of vocal style. And it just, you know, musically, like Gregor's solos and lead work, as usual, spot on for me. Go check this album out if you haven't, because, you know, you won't be disappointed. If you kind of like that gothic-y kind of doom, but it's also a bit upbeat, like the last track, As I Die, they do like a lot live. Very chanty, very easy to remember. So, yeah. So, that's the 5. So we had Swallow the Sun, Voices, Draconian, Broken Hope, and Paradise Lost. Hopefully you've stayed with me to the end and enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't before, because obviously I do these twice a week if I can, these kind of videos, collection updates, all sorts of things like that. And I kind of want to make this channel grow so people can come to me and check out my stuff if you're into the market of, you know, more obscure death metal, doom metal, you know, things you might not have heard before that the VC community aren't really talking about. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below of these albums, if you dig them or not, or what I maybe should be checking out as well, because I'm always open to recommendations. You know, I don't know everything. I love it when people tell me to go check out a band, because I've discovered so much new music, you know, in the last couple of months, especially being at home more. So yeah, in the meantime, I hope you all take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers!